my audio stopped working, so I think I fixed it. It says it's working now. We'll go from there. See if we got what we were working with. Turn this off, right? Video capture device says it's working. My C levels, we'll check it later. Either way, we're here. So where were we? I don't know where we left off, but I will say, I'm going to go back to this. So I have my deliberate creation. And we're going to play with the whole concept of, let's see if I can even get it to come in a little bit more. There we go. So I'm just going to start from the beginning of the reading here, since I'm not sure where the audio cut off. So this is deliberate creation. Desired improvements fly out from you as rockets of energy into the quantum field of all possibilities. Here they are organized into symbiotic components needed to create your desires, and then the law of attraction carries it to you as a specific frequency. Feel centered and worthy, tune in, and receive your desires. So being open to the idea of receiving, as well as the idea of putting all of your energy into possibilities, right? You organize yourself into something that goes towards your desires, and you need to create things, usually, to match that. So healing reflection. Feel good on the way to your desires. Place the deliberate creation card in front of you. That's what we're doing here. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, focus on the center of the mandala. This is your sacred space of creation. You are the queen or the king of your inner realm. The inner creates the outer. So you have to start from the middle and work your way out. Your physical reality is not something imposed upon you, but something you have pulled towards you through the vibes you emit, right? The vibrations that you put out usually are the ones that are matched. Those frequencies as they flow, right, are matched by the things you come bringing back. If you are experiencing something you don't like, you created a clarifying situation to help you focus on what you do like. So that's what we're going to work on here. Allow experiences to flow to you like the image depicts, so that you can evaluate and fine-tune your dreams and desires. So, as you can see in the mandala, right? It says the dragons represent untamed desires. And while the suns that are going around in the next inner circle, the sun illuminates manifestations. Together, they will deliver what you thought to be impossible. So sit back and relax. All you dream and desire is on its way. Right now, find something that you love in your life and focus on that. Close your eyes and stay in this space for at least 3 minutes. When you are ready, you breathe, I am a deliberate creator, into your body, and you notice. And our prompt will be, we're going to write or draw at least a list of 7 things that you want to experience. Think about how you will feel when they arrive. See if you can connect to that feeling anywhere in your life now, and write that next to your desires, right? You write the things that you feel like you can connect to next to it. As your desires turn up in your life, you cross them off and replace them with new desires to keep your list of 7 going. So 7 is a very specific number in numerology and a lot of different religions. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . So you take a look at the mandala, you see how they've listed and created these different things. There's, again, there's the female and male lions, there's the king and the queen, and then there's things that you could see that the creator of this saw, that she likes to draw mandalas, right? She has her family here. Maybe it's love, dancing, and these are desires that they've depicted in this picture. You can either write them as words, or you can draw them out as pictures. So that's the concept here, is that we're going to write or draw a list of 7 things that you want to experience. You think about how you will feel when they arrive. You see if you can connect that feeling to anywhere in your life now, and then write that next to your desires. So here we are, right? So we're going to write down those things. That's our prompt for today. And I'm going to be going a lot more with the idea of the journaling and things like that for this, because it's a mandala representing kind of, again, you can draw it out or you can write it out on a piece of paper. So since I have my piece of paper here, I'm going to move this back a little bit. And the idea will be, again, I have my book, the Deliberate Creation. So this is a moment for us to both kind of sit and write out the things that you would consider your desires. And desires can be anything, right? It's the things you want to do. It's the things you crave to do. And it's hopefully something that you enjoy doing, right? So if it's simply just the simplest thing of singing, dancing, playing music, fun things that you enjoy doing, and making that something that you want to do, right? So you think about how you will feel when these things that you want to experience arrive. So it's also kind of trying to reflect on, well, how will I feel when I do finally get to do that thing that I really like to do, right? The desire is the desire, and sometimes you get to the end of the desire and you're actually, this isn't actually really what I wanted at all, right? So you have to kind of think about, is this going to be worth it? Then you write down the things, and you can see if you connect that to anything that's going on into your life right now, and then you write it down next to it. So let's hang out and write together. So let's see, 7 things that you want to experience, you desire to experience, right? So you can go with simple things. We have our little mandala that we're going to hang out with it next to it. So here's our deliberate creation, right? So I'm not much of a drawer when it comes to creating, like, obviously animals or people and things like that. I'm definitely much more in the sense of drawing my circles. So let's see if we can make something out of this, right? So maybe I'm going to even trace this circle just to get started. And the idea is going to be, maybe you just want to write the physical words, right? The words that bring you into this space and allow you to go, what do I desire? What experience do I desire? What do I want to experience? Well, I think everybody has like a desire to feel a kind of connection to others, right? So maybe it's that you want to have go to a party or experience a party where you're invited and you get to hang out with all your friends, maybe your family. If that's your favorite thing, maybe you desire that experience, right? It's as simple as maybe you want to experience travel. Maybe you want to travel around. You want to experience other cultures and different spaces and areas. What I'm going with here is I'm creating, since it said 7, I'm going to go with 7 circles that are all roughly overlapping. I'm going to see if that connects to anything. So you write out in your way, I'll write out mine. So this seems a little crazy, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 circles, and I'm going to write my desires in those circles. And I'm going to turn it this way so it makes more sense. And then I'm going to actually notice if I can get these things to kind of overlap, like what makes those things overlap. So what do I want to experience? Let's see. Well, I guess the word travel, right? I want to travel. Let's see. Experience things outside of my realm of my world, right? I want to travel to maybe a new country. I want to experience, let's see, music. So I like playing music. I like going to concerts. So music in general, I think, is a great experience to have. Do I desire? Let's see. Well, play, right? Play in general. So maybe it's being playful and going somewhere. There's like those adventure parks. Those are fun. I've been to one, but I think that you desire sometimes the experiences you might have already had. So adventure parks. I've done like, what is it, zip lining, skiing. Well, that I consider skiing playing, but that's because I know how to ski. I could just put it there because that's something I desire. And desire to experience, I would say, I truly desire like just conversation with friends, sitting around the fire, right? So fireside, party wise, but like kind of intimate party, maybe dinner party, right? Dinner parties, I like those. Dinner party, conversation, fireside, all of that. So I desire that experience. Travel, and by that I'm talking about other countries and other cultures, cuisine, right? Food. Let's write food because I don't know how to spell cuisine. Let's see. So travel, party, conversation, play. I desire play. We put music. I desire interaction, right? So interaction. I want to, when I put things out, I want something in return, right? I don't want to just always be forward. I want it to come back to me. So just interaction in general. So maybe games, where you interact and there's a return. Maybe it's I like cooking. Cooking's a desire of mine. I look forward to cooking new meals and things like that. So that's one of my concepts here. Animals, right? Animals. Let's say like my pets. I love my pets. I love to see and hang out with other people's dogs. I desire interaction with wildlife. I like to go on hikes and see, if you see an owl, if you see a squirrel, like I love animals. So I do desire spending time with animals. And I'm going to have to go with the most obvious thing right there in the middle. What do we desire the most? Love. So it could be family love, It could be, romantic love, my wife, romantic love. It can be acceptance, right? So acceptance. It could be communal love. And so your desires are the things that to experience, right? So I desire to experience travel. I desire to experience music. I desire to experience play, to experience conversation, to experience interaction. And I love to experience animals, wildlife, pets, things like that. And then I put in the middle regular love. And so that's the concept, right? These are all just my desires. And then I can think about what is it when I achieve that goal, right? When I get to experience the things that that was what the other part of the prompt was. Let's pull it up real quick. Was think about how you will feel when they arrive, when you get to fully experience that. If you can connect that feeling to anywhere in your life now, and then write it down next to your desires. So I can think about if I got to travel, right, to another country, how would that make me feel? I'd probably have elements of feeling, there's probably going to be elements of discomfort, right? Maybe even stress from being away from the home. But it will also be exciting, new, and I think that it would be educational, right? Educational. And I think that makes sense, because if I want to tie that to what's going like in my regular life, right? I feel when I do anything that's outside of my realm of comfort, there's discomfort, right? And there's stress. But when you do that, you take a risk, it can be exciting. It's new and exciting, and it can also be educational, right? It's the same concept. Taking any risk outside of your comfort zone is going to create this sense of these like emotions, these reactions to those things. If I desire to both witness music being played and to playing it myself, right? When I get to do that, right, what is my reaction to that? Well, if I get to play music, usually it's fun, right? But it's also practice. It's repetition. Also with the same concept, if I'm going to see a concert, I'm most likely seeing a concert of a band I already know and know their songs, right? So I know their song, and it is repeating. So I do like to see that. But there's an element of energy, vibrational energy. Energy that I'll get to experience that is really unlike anything else. And these are things I get to do regularly, but not too regularly, especially going to see concerts. It used to be something I could do all the time. COVID hit, things changed, and so I haven't been to as many concerts. So that's something to notice too, right? Like the things that maybe you desire because it used to be something that you do and now you don't. And I could say that would be something in my life. Currently, I get to do some certain things, but also there's nothing really in the world here that's negative. It could be somewhat scary to play music, but for the most part, it's all very fun and exciting. And I think the same thing would go here, right? Play, adventure, skiing and zip line. There's also the danger aspect of it. So this could be dangerous to do things that would be considered fun, but that doesn't mean that it's not still fun, right? That's kind of part of that. So keep playing with your list, and I'll keep playing with mine. Over here, we have our conversation, dinner party, stuff like that. There's the fear of maybe not being as interesting, so uninteresting. But at the same time, it can be super engaging. And that could go well for the same concept, right? Of interaction, playing games and cooking and stuff like that can be both engaging, but it also could be sometimes uninteresting, right? If I'm doing something and I'm like, I'm just kind of going through the motions rather than enjoying it fully. Those are two possibilities, and those are always possibilities. It could be uninteresting or engaging. It could be either one. And you're always taking that risk by putting something into the realms of if you're not in complete control of it, and you're doing something with somebody else, then you got to think, well, if it's not completely in my control, then there's going to always be an element of maybe this is really interesting to me, or maybe it's not. There's always a chance of either one. And then over here, I have my games and my cooking and my interaction, and then my pets, my animals, my life. So I would say that if I get to spend time with my animals, my wildlife and all that stuff, it's usually calming, right? Calming. It's usually, it brings me joy. It's also usually fascinating to watch animals react to things, to interact with them, especially wildlife. I usually am in awe. Awe is a great word for animals, right? Because we go awe. And usually that's awe-inducing, right? Meaning that it's beyond really words. It is a sense of openness, awe, wonder. And honestly, what ties all of that, right, together would be this concept of love, being, maybe it's, again, family or community, romantic acceptance. And that's, what is your reaction when you do finally find those things? Usually it's like a warm hug. It's that concept of it's like you finally get the thing that you feel like you've wanted your whole life, and once you have it, you don't want to let go of it. So there's also an element of coveting, and we want to also have it be something where you can let go and be open to, if you can't get them, right? Do you keep putting any energy into where you find that concept, right? It's my little diagram I worked through. That's my list of those things, going off of the mandala healing work. We'll look one more time to see. So now, as your desires turn up in your life, you can cross them off and replace them with new desires. So you always keep this list of about 7 different things that you want going. So this can continue on, right? So if it was a kind of sloppy piece of paper like I have here, that's okay. I can rewrite it, put it down somewhere that's more permanent. And also, again, like they say, cross it out and write a new one. It could be pencil, and you erase it. I can erase all that, put something else. Like when I get to finally experience these things, you're kind of more broad. They're not very specific. Then next time I might put something a bit more specific, like, I want to experience going to see whatever, someone specific in a concert in a specific venue. And then once you do that, you get to cross it off your list and you get to add something new. So there should always be things you're desiring. There should always be a goal to achieve, because you should always feel this sense of, I would like this, and I'm going to work hard to get it. If that means I need money, right? I need money for travel. I need money to go see concerts. So that means I'm going to work hard to get money, to then use that to go and do the things that I need to do. Some of these things are a bit more not monetary, right? A conversation with my friends or hanging out with animals is free. I get to do that, really pretty much has nothing to do with money. So you look at these things and you go, okay, what does it take for me to get these desires, right? You have to play with, what will I get? And then when I do get it, how is it going to make me feel? Will it be worth it? If I'm looking at this, and more of these things are kind of negative, right? So I'm seeing discomfort, stress, but then I see exciting and new. It could really go either way. So there's that risk, right? Would I want to put all of my energy into this concept that I do want to travel, or would I put more energy into maybe the more reasonable thing, the conversations with friends and family, right? That this is local. I can keep this and keep this going around in my general area. So it's not like I'm taking huge risks, other than that it might be a little uninteresting, right? Then I don't think that that's the case. I wouldn't really make a plan with someone if I didn't think it was going to be interesting. So I do like these journal prompts, these things that allow me to play with this. Now this, again, is deliberate creation. So I'm deliberately creating something for me to use as a visual aid to then go forth and maybe implement some things that will bring these desires to reality. And I know already, by thinking about how they're going to make me feel, how I might end up reacting. And that may not be accurate. That's just what I'm perceiving now. But I'm playing with this concept of, what is the thing I want most? I wrote down the biggest thing, right? That's what everybody usually wants. But it doesn't mean that it's something that it might be the hardest thing to get, right? So notice that too. And with this deliberate creation, maybe you want to go forth and draw up a mandala. And I think that we worked on one a few weeks ago that was very similar, right? We created this concept of the lines going across and then around. And that's very simple. This is simply just a circle. And then it has I can even use this as my lines, line there, line there. And I'm deliberately creating, see how it just already has that concept here. So I would go up and through here, see how these are connected. This was created, this is created. I would say like right in the middle of these, going up, down through here. And then I have my 4 corners already made. And I can draw in here if I want, right? Like little emojis. So this is like, I don't know, maybe this is more fun. This can be interesting, right? So it'll kind of be like this. And then maybe a little hand scratching his head, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. And awe being like cute. Excited to be there, right? So you don't have to be an artist. You can draw, you can write, you can do anything that you want and in any realm to create, deliberately create something. And by that, you're putting energy into something that is deliberate, on purpose, and it doesn't have anything more than you get to notice what things come up even when you do think of that, right? So maybe you couldn't even think of 7 things that you desire. Maybe that was too difficult a question, and that's okay. Maybe now is not right in the moment, but it could be something that you use later, or you let it permeate, let it go through your system and think, what do I desire? What do I want? What are these things? I'm not going to be able to just get it. Most likely, maybe you make it a very easy thing, right? I desire chocolate, and I'm going to go buy it from the store and then eat it, and you get that, right? Perfect. If it's something bigger picture, maybe it's harder to grasp, and that's okay. The more you notice the things that bring you real true joy, not just I want this because it makes me quote unquote happy in the moment, right? Very minor things can do that for you. But in the end, you want to notice, can I put forth energy into something that is worthy of my time? How will I feel after the fact? Will it be worth my energy to put that into it? So that's my spiel for today. My Therapeutic Thursday today was to notice the things that you desire. And it wasn't on purpose. This is what this prompted me to talk about. And so I really enjoy that this was something that came up. So here we are with our deliberate creation with the Mandala Healing Oracle deck. So if you like things like this, I'm in no way I'm endorsing this, but it's not like I'm sponsored by. I just truly have found really help in things like this. So this is just a version of something. It gives you the journal prompts and it gives you all these different things. There are all different kinds of decks, and there's oracle, there's healing, there's spiritual, there's all these different things. And they're usually not that expensive, and you only need one. So if you find that you like things like this, go to online or go to a store that metaphysical stores. Those are really fun to check out and talk to somebody and see if there's anything. You don't have to buy anything. Be like, walk in and be like, I'm just curious. So if this is something that you find interesting, right? I can go spend a lot of money at one of those stores, or I can go and buy just one thing and find that one thing is super helpful. So you're looking for the tools that help you, and then the ways of using those tools to fine tune and craft the things that you're desiring, and the things that you also are worthy of your energy, the things that you want to do because you like to do them, because you're good at them, and because maybe the world needs more of whatever that is. That's usually we did it one other time, the Ikigai, and it was something very similar to this. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been my Therapeutic Thursday. I had to cut it at some point because my audio stopped working. So then I picked it back up. So this ends up being more like a half an hour. If you missed the very beginning, I just kind of explained what this deck was, and we pulled a card and everything like that. So if you only watched this half-hour video, all I did was explain that we were going to pull a card, and I pulled it randomly, and it was that. And then we talked about it. So thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your Thursday, your week, and come hang out with me. Usually try to do this every Thursday at 6, from about 6 to about 7, usually about an hour. And we hang out. We do things like journaling. We do mandala drawing, talk, chat, all that stuff. Let's hang out. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.